In this video, I'm going to talk about playing a walking bass with the left hand and comping or accompanying in the right hand. So let's look at the left hand first. We get the notes of the walking bass from the chord progression. So we'll look at the first four chords in this D minor 7, G minor 7, C7 and F major 7. Now the first thing is play the first beat of each bar, play the root note of that chord. So D in bar 1, G bar 2, C bar 3, F bar 4. So then you play three other notes. Now which notes are we going to play? Well, a safe bet is to just stick to chord notes. So in D minor 7, on beat 1 you play the D, the root note. And then beats 2, 3 and 4, choose any of the other chord notes. So for instance, you could go. It works, it doesn't sound great, but it's a nice safe bet. So you could do a similar pattern with the G minor 7, go. When you get to C, you could just do a descending C major arpeggio, or include the 7th in that. Now we can make that slightly more interesting by introducing a passing note. A passing note is a non-chord note that comes in between two chord notes. And first of all, we're going to use diatonic passing notes. These belong to the key that you're in. So for D minor 7, you could have a passing note E in between D and F. You could have G in between F and A, or B in between A and C. So you could make a very simple pattern like this. Chord note, passing note, chord note, chord note. Same pattern on G minor 7. Chord note, passing note, chord note, chord note. Okay, we can now make that even more interesting by introducing a chromatic passing note. And this is a note that is not from the key that you're in. So when we're going from D minor 7 to G minor 7, we could do this. Go chord note, passing note, chord note, then play F sharp, which is a chromatic passing note, taking you to the G. Now that works really well. It's always effective to approach the root of the next chord from a semitone below or a semitone above. So you can approach the G from F sharp or A flat. So the pattern that we just did uses the F sharp, approaching G from a semitone below. Or you could do a different pattern, go A flat to G. So that is always strong, and it's a good thing to remember. That pattern has become a bit of a cliche, and you've probably heard it hundreds of times, but it's something you really need to do in your walking bass to make it sound authentic. Now, there's another thing that you can do to enhance the walking bass, and that's to displace notes by an octave. So let's take this pattern. And when we get onto the G minor 7, we're going to displace the second note, A, by an octave. What I mean by that is this. We play D minor 7 as before, taking us onto G. Now the next note is A, but instead of going up, we're going to go down. If you also accent the note when you go down, it makes it swing more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, let's look at the right hand and the chords that we're going to play. So the chords, once again, D minor 7, G minor 7, C7, F major 7. Now, I just played them all in root position. We don't want to comp them all in root position because you'll be jumping all over the keyboard and it won't sound smooth. It won't be good, what we call voice leading. What you need to do is rearrange the notes of the chord so that when you go to the following chord, you move as little as possible. If notes are common to both chords, try to keep them in the same place. So let me show you a few examples. Let's start off with D minor 7. Take the bottom two notes, D and F, and put them up at the top instead. Now that leads very smoothly to G minor 7 in root position. You notice that the D and the F are in both chords. In D minor 7, D is the root, F is the third. In G minor 7, D is the fifth, F is the seventh. And the other two notes, the A and the C, just go down a step. Now, when we go from G minor 7 to C7, again, we don't want to go to root position there. Take the bottom two notes and put them at the top. So G minor 7 to C7. And once again, you notice two notes, G and B flat, are in both chords. So they stay in the same place. The top two notes just go down a step. And then we can go to F major 7 in root position. And once again, we have two notes that are in both C7 and F major 7. Keep them where they are. The bottom two go down a step. So that's good, smooth voice leading. Now, I did put one or two extra notes in various places. I think on the G minor 7, I might have played this voicing where I had a ninth at the top of the chord. That's sometimes referred to as a Bill Evans voicing. It was a kind of voicing he would use often. And changing to the C7, the F drops to E. The other notes all stay where they are. And that gives you this voicing for C7. That is the 7th, the 9th, the 3rd, and the A is the 13th. Another thing I think I did on the A minor 7 was just put a little crush note in there. And on the D7, I put a flattened 9th in E flat. Okay, so finally, we need to just think about the rhythm of the right hand. So the left hand is playing straightforward 4 crotchet or quarter note beats per bar. The right hand is just filling the gaps in, really. Don't play too much with the right hand. And you can play a variety of rhythms. You can play 1 to an A3, 4, 1 to an A3, 4, 1 to an A3, 4, 1. You can anticipate a beat. That means you come in just before the beat and it kind of propels it forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can play just after the beat and that kind of drags it back a bit. Obviously, you can do combinations of all these things, but just be sparing with the chords. Don't play too much. Okay, I'll just do one more chorus. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.